And welcome back, everyone. Ellington here, and we are back on Total War Attila this time. We have got ourselves a 1212 AD match here. This is a 4v4 in-house battle on the settlement of Londinium. Sorry, I bumped my mouse right there. Like I said, this is an in-house match, so that means that everybody here is in the Dragon Core Discord. This was something that we played all together. So getting into some of the players real quick, as you see, we do have a Cav Sally out here by the Defenders. I guess we can go and start with the Defenders. Now, this Cav unit... Oh, man. I don't have all the flags perfectly memorized. I believe this is Sicily right here. No, yeah, it's Sicily, right? Pretty sure that's Sicily. Then we also have, so Sicily being commanded by Tidirand. We also have the Kingdom of England being commanded by Alton. Who else do we have back here? We have got... somewhere around here. It's one thing I hate about these later games is I wish they had faction flags. So we've got the Papal States being commanded by Billy Blazes. And finally, somewhere around here, we've got the Holy Roman Empire being commanded by Knights Legion. Now for the attackers, we have got... Let's see, I believe this is the Marinid Sultanate being commanded by Mexi. We've got the Kingdom, or the Crown of Aragon being commanded by me. We've got, gosh, I hate trying to find these guys. This is the Duchy of Austria being commanded by Grey Wolf. And finally, we have got the Sultanate of Rum being commanded by Pozgwin. Now you can see we have cut a little bit here. A lot of the early stuff for Attila is literally just the Great Bombard taking down walls and towers. You know, it takes a decent chunk of time, unfortunately. It's one of the biggest downsides, I think, to this game is that because there's really only one good option to get through the walls, and that's the Great Bombard, but it means it takes time. You know, you don't have tortoises, right? Most of the other artillery in the game do not do very good against walls, so the culverin, the trebuchet, the mortar, you know what I mean, the other bombard, the regular bombard, they just don't do very good damage against the walls, so they're really not worth bringing to take down walls, which is why the Great Bombard is realistically the only good thing usable to take down walls. Attila also has a thing where one shot will destroy the tower. Why? I don't know, but it does. Honestly, Attila's tower mechanism is really janky anyways. You gotta remember they have that thing where if you capture the like cap point of the tower collapses, which is really stupid in my opinion, but it is what it is. But like I said, it unfortunately means that Attila has a much longer sieging portion than like Rome 2 does. Rome 2, you know, it probably takes 6-7 minutes to get, you know, a couple breaches, get towers up, so on and so forth. This is a bad angle. Got the heavy shock cav coming in, getting a pretty solid charge here on this medium melee infantry. I think, is this one that we saw earlier? Yeah, this is the one that came out earlier and killed a bunch of these guys. But he is getting a lot of kills on this medium shot, or this medium melee infantry as well, which unfortunately was just a little out of position. We hadn't gotten other units in place to go in with this unit, but it was sent in because we were afraid that if we don't, that they may be able to come in and you know, kind of block us out. We also have Imperial Ritters coming up from the Holy Roman Empire. But yeah, like I was saying, Attila, you know, or in Rome 2, I would say like the average kind of siege time is probably between 6 to 8 minutes or so. you know, between, you know, busting down a wall if you want, or, you know, putting tortoises up, putting siege towers up, so on and so forth. I'd probably say 6 to 8 minutes. Anything longer than that, and you're in real trouble on Rome. In Attila, that time period is realistically more like, I don't know, 10 to 11 minutes to get through the walls, which is really painful. It's a lot of time, you know, spent just on that. We've got the Imperial Ritters coming in. They're coming in wedge formation, which actually did pretty good. I'm not usually a big fan of the wedge formation and stuff like that in any of the Total War games. It tends to not quite work the way it's supposed to. That actually worked pretty well, 49, 50 kills. I still don't know that it's something I would have charged into. You know, he's taking quite a bit of losses here. Sorry, just taking a drink real quick. Yeah, so he 42 out of 70 now, so he took 28 losses there. Right? Yeah, 28. We do have, so we were pursuing with this heavy shot cav, but thankfully, I think this is Mexi here, noticed that the heavy shot cav from Sicily was sitting right there, and if he had continued to pursue, he was going to get pincered there, and he pulls off just in time to avoid that, so well done. You can see we are getting our ranged pulled up. Great Bombard coming really close. I think he realizes he only has one shot, and he only has one shot to take this down, so he wanted to make sure he got his shot. But we've got Genoese crossbows up, lots of Genoese crossbows. We've got some sergeants on some towers. We have a lot of our cavalry over here, and realistically the reason for that is because they don't really have a great option to flank us from the other direction. You have this bridge over here, but it would take a really long time, and we would notice it way before they would get to us. But over here, there's a gate sitting right there, and so we put majority of our cavalry in this general vicinity so that we can counter off any cavalry they try to send out. You can see by this gate, we've got the King of Sicily, Imperial Ritters. That Sicilian cav isn't very far away, you know what I mean? There's a lot of opportunity for cavalry to come out, especially with all of this ranged out here. Got mortars. I think that's mortars, or is that the trebuchet? It might be the treb. Trebuchet 0 kills at the moment. You can see, looks like right now we're waiting to maybe gain a little more time over here. I spent most of my time over on this side of the flank, so we'll see. I'm interested to see kind of how this side went. You can see some Voynich swordsmen from the... Oh, I think this is when we realized that you can act... This is kind of a weird thing. We didn't even know it. I think what happened is he gave his command for the unit to go... You know, he clicked, okay, go here. Instead of the unit going through the gate, the unit went around the wall. So apparently you can go around this. Just a heads up to everyone so you don't get caught out weirdly, you know what I mean? Because I could see this being a real problem, you know, even as the attacker, you expect your unit to go this way, and they go this way, and all of a sudden they get surrounded by the enemy, you know what I mean? That's a big boo-boo. Alright, so the first wall down, or I guess it's the second wall down. We took this corner down, and now we've taken this wall section down here. And we are going to prepare getting some troops in. So I've got some sergeants about to move in. We've got some Austrian Ritters in, you know, close vicinity, so that we were worried about the cavalry coming out. But we need to be super careful because the trebuchet actually has distance on this area over here. And you can see he's trying to hit these Austrian Ritters, and he actually does get a couple of them. We need to be careful, super careful about where we set our troops up, though, because of that. You can see I'm not going too far in. You know, I don't want to put myself into a cross line here. You can see we got 2 paths to go. We got the path here. We got some Aragonese swords from Sicily. And then on this side, we've got the Lancieri Ghibellini? I don't know. But it's heavy spear infantry for Sicily. So on this flank, we mostly have Sicily, and I think it's the HRE. Then in the center and, I guess, left for the defenders, we've got the Papal States and England. For us, on our right, we've got Austria and the Sultanate of Rome taking this side. This mod just looks fantastic. It's a beautiful, beautiful design work here on the units. So you see here we've got some Austrian sergeants versus some English sergeants. More English sergeants behind. We also have mercenary Welsh longbows, which are pretty darn good. Archers, like standard archers in this game, can be a little underwhelming, but longbows are very good. Typically, your crossbows tend to be a lot better, and your handguns tend to be... Those are your killers, realistically. You know, they have the best AP, but the longbows, they have that really, really good range. Let's see, what's their... range is 175. So, like, compared to the heavy ranged melee infantry here from the Sultanate of Rome, they only have 150. I think there might even be longbows with better range than 175. Look, crossbows only 140. 145, I mean. And then, like, this medium bow infantry is 140. Yeomen of the Guard. They really only have 140? Really? Where's that 175 I just saw? What the hell? Was they using a different shot, maybe? Wonder if they were using a different shot, which is why it showed the 175. But they do have better range normally than regular units, obviously. They're just, it's a longbow, right? They have better range. Somebody go back and confirm that I was actually looking at the Mercenary Welsh longbow and saw 175. Because I'm almost positive I did, but I don't see it anymore. You'd see some crossbows. What probably happened is they probably lost their, or they were probably, you know, targeting a unit that went out of range, and so they tried to follow it, which is really annoying. Mercenary Genoese crossbows getting hit by the Trebs back here. What's the Trebuchet at? 57 kills, and he's half ammo, looks like. Got a couple sergeant units in combat, as well as some sergeants from Austria as well. We've got our crossbows trying to shoot up. He's got his Balistrieri Proviciniati coming up on the walls here, which is a heavy crossbow unit. And you can see we're trying to kind of shoot them and punish them for that. But not doing a whole lot because, you know, and once they get into this position, that's going to be really painful for me. So you can see I'm like, I'm not a fan of this, so I'm walking away. Your best bet at that point would be to bring like a crossbow over here and try and shoot it down the line. But of course, then you have to be super careful because you have this gate right here, so it's probably not a safe bet. I don't know what the Treb is shooting at. Whatever he's shooting at, it almost wasn't good. Is he just trying to light stuff on fire? I don't know, it's weird, because now he's shooting all the way over. He might just be trying to light stuff on fire, I can't tell. Because he has started to fire in the settlement here. See, the sergeants from England are taking a beating from the combined might of the ranged infantry and the sergeants from Austria. 52 kills, and then we've got 56, 71, 60. Mercenary Welsh longbow only 15. These are the Papal archer units, and they're... looks like they just started firing. Oh, man, the mercenary Catalan crossbows and the Rumat Maghribi which is the light bow infantry, taking some big hits there from that trebuchet. 94 kills now on the Treb. You can see, it looks like they are trying to kind of see if they can counter off these Pavis crossbows from Sicily. But man, those massive shields are really hard to deal with. He's not shooting right now, which means that those shields are kept frontal to that fire. He is starting to fire back now. He's got 44 kills. That was a really good volley right there. Now we've got the medium bow infantry from Sicily moving forward. If I remember correctly, I think the rules in this one were 2 crossbows, max 2 crossbows, I think is what it was. Treb firing again. He's 94 kills, but he got good targets. Let's see, what did he get from there? Nothing too hot. He got 1 more kill. They've got a pretty decent spread on the trebuchet fire, so, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, kind of you get lucky, or, you know, if there's a super clumped, you know, or super big, like, big clump of troops, you have a better chance of getting things, you know what I mean, because there's more targets in the area. Oh, that's a good target. Oh, that's a beautiful hit. Oh, that hurts. Sorry, I'm just waiting to see what he comes up with. 115, looks like he was at 103 beforehand. Yeah, that was a really nice hit there. My crossbow's moving forward. So what I did is I dropped an infantry unit on the wall to basically chase off this crossbow so that I could move my crossbows back up and try and counter off these guys right here. Treb again. Nothing too hot on that one. Looks like you got 1, maybe. Sorry, I had to sneeze. And I try not to make you guys listen to that. Over here we got the Voynuk swordsmen from the Sultanate of Rum. They are taking on Sergeants of England. We got 29 kills versus 30 kills. They're both 15th century, so one of the later units. To be honest with you, in these games, they usually are. You don't tend to see a whole lot of the lower, you know, silver to bronze tier units. Typically what that just means is that's the era that you're talking about. So you see right there, it shows the gold emblem that says 15th century. I believe that's late. I think there is, or 14th might be late, 15th might be high. I always get the two mixed up. Right now, this sword on the top, I'm not going to do anything with it because if I try to go down this way, I'm just going to get clobbered, right? I'll get tied down by sergeants and blasted by archers and crossbows and all sorts of stuff. So I'm just going to set up my sword over here in this area with my shields facing this way so that I can kind of minimize as much of the firepower as I possibly can. Then hopefully it'll allow my crossbows and my allies range. And actually, look at this. Sultanate of Rum actually sent a bunch of his ranged melee over this direction now. But this should help kind of keep this wall free for now so that they can't stop, you know, putting us down. Trebuchet seems to have, I think he's switched to regular shot now. He's at 124. Are we also getting hit by this one? This guy's got 127. This is the English trebuchet. I think they've got a mortar back here somewhere. Maybe not, but I thought they did. Maybe they just brought two trebuchets. Yeah, the Treb's still going with regular shot. I don't know if he's just trying to minimize how much we see it. You know, sometimes with the standard rocks, it's a little bit harder to see them flying, and you can kind of catch people unawares sometimes. It could also be maybe he's just trying to get better accuracy because when you use flame shot, it does increase the spread quite a bit, which, you know, means that it's just not quite as accurate usually. But when it hits, it gets more kills. So it's kind of a give and take, right? This sergeant, 124 out of 160 with 141 kills is pretty solid. What I really hate is right here. I should be able to take this sergeant off the wall, but I can't because this tower is destroyed. You can't use this walkway or this stairway, and it's really stupid. It's not stupid that you can't use the walkway because the tower is destroyed. It's stupid that the tower gets destroyed by capturing it. Although I think we destroyed that one with a great bomber. But whatever. I stand by my point. It's dumb. It's, you know, English Foot Knights coming in. These guys have already seen a little bit of action. 26 kills on them. And they're going to catch the swordsmen in formation, which should help them a little bit by shock infantry getting a charge. Man, shock infantry in this mod is just god tier. These are your killers, okay? Your regular infantry, sword infantry, you're not typically looking at, you know, 150, 200 kills on these guys. If you get 100 kills, you did very good on your regular infantry. With your shock infantry, if used well, those are the things you're usually getting 225, 300 kills on them. You know, that heavy charge bonus they have is just ridiculous. Charge bonus 55, which is really good for this mod. You can see the difference in a regular sword is 25, right? You know, then you look at the shock cavalry and charge bonus of 180 on a heavy shock cap. That's not even a super heavy shock cap. Let's see, where's one of their better, like the heavy command unit? I guess they're also 180. So maybe it is just the same there. This guy's not as good, actually. This guy's only 170, and that's the Holy Roman Empire's Butterguard. The Butterguard? Guard the butter! King's bodyguard. So yeah, I guess 180 is pretty standard. I wonder, there might be units that have better, maybe especially in some of the eastern factions. Man, we're still shooting over these damn crossbows. And look at it, 81 out of 130, 126 kills on them. They are seeming to maybe, I think they're starting to give way on this spot a little bit. You can see, while they do still have a couple units defending, there's that other damn trebuchet. 144 kills, and they still have ammo. They still have, this one's just out. 141, I think that was his last volley. 145. This guy still has a quarter ammo left and is at 155. There's a lot of clumps over here that he can hit.
My men have given up and are running for their lives.
Center, you could tell that we really weren't super invested in the center here. We were way more invested on this and this. This side has turned quite a bit. You know, we were all the way up to here is where we had pushed. Now look where we're back to. All the way back here. They've got sergeants, 2 units of English Foot Knights. They've got some of their medium bow infantry back up here. But in an area like this is where the shock infantry does very well, right? It's a very open area, a lot of room to maneuver, a lot of, you know, open space to not get, you know, when you're in tight spots, a lot of times your charges get a little messed up, you know, just by the pathing of the game. And it's just kind of the way it is, unfortunately. But look at this. They were able to position this unit out of the way, clearly opening up the spot for the English Foot Knights. English Foot Knights are going to catch a little bit here, but that honestly is bad for them because they're going to get countered by the dismounted Austrian Ritters. And honestly, the English Foot Knights are probably going to take the worst of this. That actually ended up being a really good trade for the attackers. This is not going to be a good trade for the attackers. English Foot Knights, fair game on the Voynich sword, and they're just going to get annihilated. This is a good swap out here. You need to get this unit out. They took a really heavy hit from the Austrian Ritters. You'd see their 112 out of 140, and that was a super healthy unit that went in. That was a really good move there by the attackers here. Now, Welsh Longbowmen and the Yeomen of the Guard are probably going to target that Austrian Ritter and wipe it off the face of the earth. Ooh, there's that Treb again. Did he just run out of ammo? No, he didn't. Okay. 166, 7, 8, 9. Oh, man, what a good hit. It's kind of fun sometimes watching the kills register after a good hit. But yeah, so the yeomen or the archers here probably don't have enough ammo to actually wipe it out, but they could do some good damage here. 112 out of 140 on that. You can see they're trying to get it out of there as much as they can. They brought back up their sergeants. Yeah, the Austria kind of retaking the initiative there. 90 kills. I wonder what this Cavian got. He's got 2 chevrons. What did he get into? They are still holding pretty well here. They, in fact, we've broken through the left. They've got this small unit of Aragonese swords that are going to kind of slow us down a little bit. And it could be just they're trying to, you know, buy a little time for units to get out. You can see he's bringing these Lancieri Ghibellini up. Probably just to kind of hold this area, allowing the other troops to get out. They're big white shields. Very white shields. I feel like that's not how that shield's actually supposed to look. Is it? Because that's a pretty... okay, well, it is a 13th century unit, so maybe it is supposed to be what it looks like. You know, pretty not great. English Foot Knights catching one of the Azap swordsmen, you know, out in the open here. Honestly, you're probably just buying time for some of these units to fall back. Although I don't know why you would send in one of your best units instead of using one of your cheap units to do that. Here we go. We've fully broken through the left as well. Going to put some medium pikes here to kind of hold this area. They do have a crossbow right there. We've got some of our shot cav. We really wanted to try and exploit that breakthrough. Sometimes when you do that, as the defenders are trying to fall back, sometimes you could slip some cavalry in there and cause some mayhem. You know what I mean? I've got my heavy shot cav coming in, and I'm going to catch these English Foot Knights. I was called off this charge. I was told, oh, charge these guys. I should have kept with what I wanted to do and charged these guys. This was not worth the charge. I'm going to take losses here in a well-set formation when I could have gotten these guys right in the back with a really good charge. I end up going back and getting that charge, but once again, I think I took unnecessary losses. I shouldn't have listened to my ally on that one. You know, I was charging this, and they're like, no, charge over here. They thought I could catch one of those units that was running away, but it was way too late. You know, by the time my cav got to it, it was already to the defensive position, and it just wasn't a good move. That is a moment I remember from this game, and I regretted it epically. I didn't like it. You know, sometimes you just make a move that makes you just kind of feel a little bad, a little greasy inside, knowing that it just wasn't the right call and it was unnecessary, you know what I mean? And that was definitely one of them. It happens though, you know what I mean? You're in the heat of the moment, you're trying to exploit, like I said, you have all these units running away, you're trying to catch and deal as much damage while they're out of position as you can. And so you're making these spur of the moment, just go decisions, and sometimes you just make the wrong one, and it happens. You know, on the other side, it happens too. Sometimes the other guys make the wrong call too, and it all just comes down to who makes the right call, and you know who gets lucky. Honestly, that's a lot of luck. We've got a really good push going here. They do have dismounted Imperial Ritters that are probably going to countercharge us, though. We do have pikes here, but the pikes are being held a little bit back due to some of the ranged up here. You got heavy crossbows, you got more heavy crossbows. Got a lot of stuff. Also back here, you actually have a lot more of these little alleyways allowing a little more interconnectability between the different armies. You know, over out here, realistically, you basically just had this one kind of avenue right here, but back here there's a bit more. Sorry, I had to sneeze again. Getting a charge here. We've got, okay, the Austrian Ritters went in. They've got 97 kills, and they're about half health. Not too bad. You know, you can definitely see they've taken some casualties. We've got Gujat, which is a 15th century light melee infantry, but they are taking on dismounted Imperial Ritters, which are a very good shock infantry. These are both, honestly, just pretty weak units, you know what I mean? 24 out of 160, 112. But what we're basically trying to do is buy a moment that our pikes can maybe get set up and get in position, because then the Imperial Ritters can't really do a whole lot. If you're the defenders, what you do at this point is, even if you do defeat these Gujat, you take these Imperial Ritters and just pull them back and then blast these pikes with your crossbows. Crossbows 64 kills. These guys have 87. Big cav fight going on here. We've got the Austrian Ritters taking on the Imperial Ritters of the Holy Roman Empire. Very similar factions here between Austria and the HRE for obvious reasons. Sergeants taking on sergeants. You can see one of our units kind of peeling off here. Actually, there's this cav should really go over here. There's a wide open path into these crossbows, and I'm really kind of surprised. Okay, he's going for it now. He may not be quite strong enough to realistically take them on, but he might at least be able to shut them up for a little while. You can see now we've kind of defeated this unit. We can more pile on to this one over here. Got our guns moving forward. We got a sergeant up here kind of protecting them a little bit. Imperial Ritters, 121 kills. Those chevrons were given beforehand, just a heads up. Oh. I gotta remember something for a minute. So you got the heavy shock cav of Sicily come out over here. Okay, this is a moment where we saw more opportunity for cavalry. So this is my heavy shot cav. I don't know why the crossbows were left to sit there. But now you can see you got the sergeants coming in. Sorry, I had to take a drink there. I think we have another cav unit. Didn't another one? Okay. I think we had a little bit of a miscommunication. I think what I wanted was him to set up to, you know, cycle here. And I don't think we quite communicated it very well, because you can see he's back here and not set up to cycle my unit. My unit's now going to try and get out of there because of the Imperial Ritters. He is a hybrid shot cap, so he is getting some shots off. I think he's now going to try and get that charge. He's waiting for them to get into this little crossways here, because then at that point we can sandwich. So there's my charge, and then here he comes. But he's going to charge, I think he's going to, yeah, there it is. He's going to charge the shock infantry, which is the right call. I charged the one, kept them busy. He charges the shock infantry. His unit is better than mine. I think. Pretty sure it is. I guess it's hard to say, because he is kind of he's a hybrid cav unit. Over here, you can see we are now pushing some more. We've got more pike infantry pushing up. Got pikes, and then a bunch more of the infantry units from Room. Now this is heavy shock infantry from Room with their massive axes. They're going to catch the mercenary Irish Caithern? I'm not sure. If we have any Irishmen, tell me how to say that name. Then here you got your English foot knight. Or no, these are the dismounted Hospitallers. I always thought the Hospitallers were black and white, not maroon and white. Because I know the Templars were red and white, which they get that right in this. White field, red cross. I could have swore the Hospitallers were a white cross on a black field. And then you have the... Is it the Knights of St. Lazarus, which are green and white, I believe? And I know there's some others out there. Got the heavy ranged infantry coming in. That's the nice thing about units like this is now they're out of ammo, but now they can go in and get even more kills in melee infantry. They already have 135. Now the pike here is in a really bad spot. You can see he's set up in a position looking over here, but he's getting hit in the flank by the sergeants of the HRE. Now that was a mortar shot. Was that ours? I believe so. Yeah. 96 kills on it. Pretty good. We've made a lot of progress over here. You can see one of the cav cannons coming in. This is the Marinid Sultanate, I think it is. What is it? How do you say it? How do you say it? Yeah, Marinid Sultanate? I had to look it up. Pole arms. Now you're about to see something that really annoyed me. Something I missed. So coming in, we mentioned it earlier, the Sicilian cav coming out. He made a really broad loop. My general is sitting back here. And I'm sure you can guess what's about to happen. I was very, very annoyed. We also have handguns that I completely and totally forgot existed back here. The trebuchet's out of ammo, doesn't matter. 151 kills and 2 chevrons is pretty good. But here is my general standing still, getting charged in the back by heavy shock cav from Sicily. Now his shock cav is already wounded. He's taken 21 losses on it. Yeah. Was not very happy. So what did he do just on the charge? Killed 18 men. Light bow infantry. Are they going to try and go insist? Or are they just... Yeah, I think they're going and charging in. You see, we do notice it. We have more of our cav coming to try and help out. The general from Marinid Sultanate is coming around the back here. In the front here, we've got the heavy pole arms in combat. We've got pike infantry looking down at some shock infantry. Now the Marinid, the Sicilian cavalry apparently just wasn't quite strong enough or healthy enough to come in, and maybe if it had a little more time by itself, it might have been able to finish my general. But unfortunately, he was not able to take down my general before the rest of the reinforcements showed up. He did wound my general quite a bit. He took down, once again, what is that, 18 men there. A lot of shock infantry, excuse me. I was going to say cav. Shock infantry action on the front lines on the right-hand side. Once again, we've got the Sultanate of Rum in here with his. And then, is that his over here as well? Where was the... Can't see it. The trebuchet's in the way. No, these are the Austrian Ritters. But we also have the dismounted Hospitallers with 130 kills. Once again, I'm pretty sure that was already chevroned. I don't think he got that many chevrons on it. Did that trebuchet say 273 kills? Get out of here. I don't even want to hear it. Go away. Handguns getting some good kills here. I think he's going after the shock infantry back here. This is the Sicilian shock infantry. 42 kills, 71 kills. My sergeant just got obliterated. the handguns. 198 kills. They are falling back behind the general of the Marinid Sultanate, who's going to charge in on shock infantry that is out of position. Typically what we mean by out of position, I guess better said would be out of formation, but is realistically usually meaning a unit that is in movement instead of standing in formation. Units that are in formation standing still are going to take a charge a lot better than a unit that is in the process of moving or charging. It means that they're out of, they're not braced, right? So the cavalry charging that is going to be really, really effective. Same thing if a shock infantry charges a regular infantry that's just, walking or running along. The shock infantry is going to obliterate them, If you're going to get charged by high charge units, the best thing you can do for yourself is sit and take it. Unless you are also a high charge unit. If you're shock infantry, countercharge the shock infantry. If you're shock cav, countercharge the shock cav, right? If it's infantry versus infantry, countercharge. But, if you're shock infantry taking on a shock cav, do not countercharge the shock cav. You're going to get obliterated. That shock cav, if it charges you and you are out of formation, you are going to die. It's going to be very, very painful. So once again, they are forced to fall back. But I guess they don't have to fall back per se, but they can't engage us right here. 2 polearm infantry. The shock infantry are not going to take on polearms. We have longer, pointier sticks. Sorry. So, the shock infantry basically doesn't have a choice but moving. You can see we do catch the Holy Roman Empire general here with 2 units of our cavalry. Looks like we are I'm pulling off. I'm not. Maybe it might be because the King's Bodyguard of England joined, and I didn't want to take on 2 generals, especially not kind of sitting still. That's what I would assume is why I fell back off that. Otherwise, I would have stayed in and probably killed the Holy Roman Empire general. What gens do we have left? We've got the Papal General. We've got the King of Sicily. I think we have all 4 of the of the defending generals. And I think we have all 4 of the attacking generals as well, though mine is very hurt. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Now, one of my non-general cav, 2 chevrons, 164 kills. And I'm almost positive I did not chevron him. We got the Marinid general. He charged the shock infantry, but it's going to get counter-charged by the King's Bodyguard of England. He is a little beat up. 105 kills. He's got 41 men left. He actually took quite a bit of losses right there. Now the Sultanate of Rum, his general moving forward. We also have pikes moving up, but they're probably not going to make it. Looks like they're taking majority of the firepower is coming against them. So Holy Roman Empire general now charging the heavy ranged melee infantry of the Sultanate of Rum. Also, you have the dismounted Austrian Ritters. 128 kills. Oh, you got to watch out. Was that... Oh, maybe it sounded like handguns, but I think it was just the crossbows. But, I mean, they're dangerous too, right? Like, they can kill you as well. So, Holy Roman Empire general is gone. Shattered. That could be a big deal. So you have 3 generals left for the defenders. We also have Hospitaller Knights here for the Papal States. Looking good there, gentlemen. Looking good. This is the Papal Guard with his funny hat. The King of Sicily, also in a funny hat. Them Italians, man, and their funny hats. So I'm bringing my cavalry over here to just kind of expose the back end, you know what I mean? With bringing cavalry up here, now the defenders have to watch this, right? Now, I don't think I realized that the shock infantry was here until I was right next to them. And I charge here. And I don't think it was the best idea, especially you got another shock infantry right behind them. Probably not the best idea that I ever had in this game. I love their heart shields. Heart for love. Not a very good cycle charge there either. Yeah, I shouldn't have done this. The first cav charge was probably fine. Sending my general into was probably a mistake. I think I end up getting out of this okay, but I am now very badly hurt on both my cav units, and I don't know what I'm doing. Why are you turning around? What are you doing? This is a bad move. Yeah. That was a terrible, horrible, stupid, dumb, I don't know what the hell. This probably in the end was fine. Then I should have just pulled back. Just pull back, take your losses, and walk away. You know what I mean? Or take what you gained. You know, you got some kills on it. Just walk away. I lost my general. I shouldn't have lost my general. It was a dumb move. I don't know why I did it. You know, I'm not even going to try. I was going to say, like, oh, you know, maybe I was thinking, no. Like, it was stupid, dumb, just bad decision on my part. And I regret it. I remember regretting it then, and I regret it even more watching it back. Yeah, I'm saying it. I regret it. Got the pole arms up here taking on just kind of a hodgepodge of everything. Problem is that they're about to be in a position that they can't really operate effectively, right? It's a super open area coming up, and pole arms, you know, kind of like the pikes, you don't want them in super open spots because that means that their flanks and everything are exposed, and it's just not good. So we lost another allied general. Who? What ally did we lose? Who died? Guess let's see who's left. Okay, so we have Austria. And we have Rome. So that means that the Marinid, Sultanate, and mine are both dead. Okay, got it. For the defenders, they still have Sicily. They still have England. I'm pretty sure England is still alive. And they still have... So they have 3, we have 2. Got it. This area right here is very concerning, but this very area here is very concerning for them. You know, we've got this little area where we're starting to be able to slip things through. We've got some pole arms in here, and all they have in the center here is just ranged infantry stuff. You know what I mean? Like bow, infantry, you know, crossbows. They have this Hospitaller Knight that's kind of charging from there to there, trying to kind of stem the tide on both flanks as much as he possibly can. You know, a lot of the shock infantry, you know, is trying to just kind of keep this back area as safe as they possibly can, but it's tough because that shock infantry is also needed up here at the same time, you know, so it's a kind of a which way do you go, you know what I mean? It's a very tough decision. Got more, so they're trying to plug that little avenue that we had across the side here. We've got sergeants, they've got English foot knights, 214 doing very well there. On this side, it's just a mosh pit. Got the Papal General, we've got heavy shock infantry, medium melee infantry, heavy hybrid shock. I mean, just everything in this area. Hospitaller Knights charging back down the hill again. Just a crazy, crazy thing, guys. You'd see we're we're trying to get through this as quickly as possible because honestly, time is against us at this point. We've got my handgunners over here trying to blast into this, just mosh pit, like I called it earlier. Some of this stuff up on the hill is a little more exposed to the handguns. This here, you can't really shoot into this, right? It's a flat arc. You've got people in the way. It just, you can't really do it. Got some of my pole arms, but they're wavering. You got to remember, my general's dead. So, my units are hanging on by a thread. My general's dead. My unit's hanging by a thread. Just spitting bars over here. Sorry, I'm very white. Shock infantry coming back in. 209 on these guys, 2 chevrons, very well done. But look at this, the Sultan of Rum, his general now coming back to exploit the back end. We've got the Papal bodyguard still going on. 75 out of 80, he's doing pretty well. 251, good lord. Now down here, this is kind of a problem. All I've got down here is a polearm and handguns. Most of all of our infantry is in this spot right here. We still have, honestly, we have stuff that we probably forgot about. Units that maybe have run away that came back. We actually have a lot of stuff kind of laying around. 64 out of 140, all that stuff could be useful at the front. And you can see a lot of it we're desperately trying to get to the front. But is it too late? Cav now charging in on my horribly exposed units. There's not a lot I could do about it. You know what I mean? My handguns are gone. My pole arms are gone. So all I have is this right here. Bounce power is in our favor, but not as bad as it was earlier. Earlier, the bounce power was very heavy in our favor as the attackers, and it is actually swung back in, not into the defender's favor, but not as badly as it was in ours, as it was before. Words are hard. The cavalry movement here has been very good by the defenders. They have used their cavalry very well here at the end in charging and using this kind of open area here pretty well to their advantage. King of Sicily taking on the Sultanate of Rum general. I don't know how to say it. 51 out of 80, 37 out of 80. But also got some heavy shock infantry, maybe going to go and help swing that even more in their favor. General's bodyguard, 451 with 3 chevrons. Cheese and crackers. Look at all this. This has been just a death trap. General's bodyguard doing extremely well here. General's bodyguard almost looks like a Hospitaller Knight as well, with the shields. See what I mean? But you can see these guys obviously have the papal keys, but some of them have the red and white shield cross. This is a close battle. I forgot how close this is. Honestly, this... I'm trying to remember how this turns out. I thought I knew how this ends, but I don't... I'm starting to question whether I'm right. This battle was a little ways back, I think. So I'm doing this battle... Today is February 18th, so you guys are... This video is coming out on the 19th. But this battle was done on like November 19th or something like that, if I remember correctly. I think we won that. I think they break. No, I think we lost by time. I think we lost by time. Yes, I think that's what it was. I think we lost by time. And I don't... When I say I don't remember that happening that way, I literally just don't remember like I thought that we won this battle, but it's been long enough ago that I think I'm just wrong. I'm pretty sure they do hold out for time. And it was just, I remember this being an incredibly close battle. Very, very close battle. Maybe someone else in the game is in this and tell me if I'm right. I'm pretty sure that the defenders win by time on this one. I hate that in Attila they consider it a draw. I don't consider that a draw personally. Starting off with pause as the Sultanate of Rum. The 2 shock infantry did very, very well. 224, 188. Infantry all just kind of whatever. His ranged archers did very, very well. His cavalry, 239, did very, very well. Not so mexy as the Marinid Sultanate. Let's see. Infantry, for the most part, did just kind of 144 on the general. His archers, 132. Cavalry, one did pretty good with 152. The other one, 90, but did get 2 chevrons. 193 on the mortar. 214 on the handguns. Myself, 100 on my 1 shock infantry. My shock infantry for the Crown of Aragon are not very good. 79 on 1. 143 on my pole arms is pretty good. A couple of my sergeants are pretty good. 138, 128 is good. Crossbows, 226, 199. 258 on the cav, pretty good. General, not very good. Grey Wolf as the Duchy of Austria. His shock infantry, good. Infantry, a couple did pretty good. Rest about what you expect out of infantry in this game. Crossbows, pretty solid. 139, 175, 286 on his Austrian Ritters, very good. 151 on the Treb. For the defenders, we've got Black Knight of War, or Knight's Legion is his name in Discord. We've got 182, 142 on the shock infantry, pretty good. His cav did pretty solid. Crossbows did pretty good. Honestly, unfortunately, his sergeant's not so hot. Billy Blazes, as the Papal states. Look at that, 492 on the general. I think honestly that was a big effect on the outcome of this game. One of his Hospitaller Knights, 206. Crossbows did pretty good. His mounted Hospitaller Knights did pretty good. His infantry, some did solid, some not. We've got His Majesty, it's Imperial Majesty. His name is Alton in Discord. His General 243 is shock infantry 234 is good. Hundreds not so great. Let's see, his archers, his longbows did pretty solid. 281 on the trebuchets, really solid. Finally, Titirand as the Kingdom of Sicily. We've got, oh man, look at that. 236 and 325 on his shock infantry and a lot of chevrons on both. 145, 234 on the cavalry. His crossbows, one of them did pretty good, one not so much. Some of his infantry, 160, 135. The rest, about what you expect. But that is going to be it for today's battle. Thank you guys so much for joining. Real quick, 1 minute or 1 hour. Yeah, this was a timed win by the defenders. But yeah, like I said, this is going to be it for today's battle. Thank you guys so much for joining. Don't forget that if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and we will see you guys next time.